So I'm really excited. CJ, come on up, buddy.
He's Jay, Stongo. Canaan Johnson, Jajifkaros. Wewoka, Oklahoma, Legaros. Lewis Johnson, Miko, Potka, Fustrupko, Jutskit Moman, Geri Johnson, Jutskaros. Estejari, Tallahassee, Fuskogi. Este Seminole, Este Muskokogi. Este Chickasaw, Opona Yeyeros. North Lake Jayeros, Hombeyeros. Hey, how's it going, everybody? What is up? My name is Canaan Johnson. I'm from Wewoka, Oklahoma, the capital of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. My dad is Lewis Johnson, and he's actually the chief of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. He goes by the name of Fustrupko, which means tall bird. My mother is Geri Johnson, and I'm Seminole-Creek-Chickasaw of the Tallahassee Band and the Bird Clan. And at the end, what I said was, I speak my language. I'm in the kitchen cooking something up, and I'm out here eating. But speaking of eating, let's give a round of applause for the food we just had, right? It was great. It was great. But today, what I'm going to speak to you about is turning my side hustle into a main hustle, and also how I did it was through Merch by Amazon. And I'm going to tell you the steps I was to be successful, and I'm going to talk about a couple other points. But before I get started, we're going to do a little activity. So everybody get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get on your feet. So I learned this when I went to a camp when I was a kid. It's called the Rooster Chest, all right? So what we're going to do, before everyone gets excited, what we're going to do is you're going to put your shoulders back, your chest out, and you're going to inhale through your nose, not your mouth, and you're going to keep inhaling until you can't, and hold it. And then hold it until I say release. All right, you ready? All right, put your shoulders back. Inhale through your nose. Inhale, 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 inhale. Hold it. Release. Y'all felt that blood rush through your head? Felt good, right? All right, everyone have a seat. So that's one activity that I do, you know, whenever I need a little break from work, or if I'm a little bit stressed out, or, you know, I got my nerves racked. You can do that little activity. That's called it's like a breathing meditation activity that you do to get your blood running. But I want to go ahead and touch on the topics we're going to be talking about today, which will be Merch by Amazon. It's a print-on-demand platform, and law of attraction, the 80-20 principle, and the abundance mindset. But before I get started, I want to tell you a little bit more about me, where I'm from, and my story. So if you can see this family up here, that's my dad right there, Lewis Johnson. He is the chief of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. That is my mother, Geri Johnson. And if you can see, all my siblings are wearing different tribal patchwork, as I'm wearing today. This patchwork vest was handed down from my grandfather to my dad to me. And this was made back in the 1980s, and it was handmade by another Seminole person. And this is like our tribal regalia, that every tribe has their own clothing, and like whenever you see someone wearing a certain clothing, you know that they're from a certain tribe. So to get started, I came from humble beginnings. I grew up in a low-income family. I grew up in an urban area where a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of criminal activity, kind of everything was not set for me to go. But my parents always inspired me to keep pushing through no matter what. Even though we didn't have much growing up, my family started like thrifting and going to garage sales and, you know, trying to save a buck, trying to be thrifty. My mom always wanted to save money somehow. So we went to garage sales, we went to thrift stores, we went to pawn shops to save a little bit of money to be thrifty. But that necessity turned into a hobby. Every Saturday, my family would get up early. We'd be so excited to go to the garage sales, and we'd be like, well, what can we find for the house? What can we find? What kind of video games can I find? Like, what type of things can we find? Well, who's going to find the best treasure? So that necessity turned into a hobby, and that hobby turned into a hustle. So while I was going to thrift stores and garage sales, I started flipping stuff on eBay. I went to pawn shops, thrift stores, and then garage sales, and we found treasures. Also, growing up, my dad, he is Native American. He's the chief of the tribe. But like me, he goes out and speaks on behalf of our tribe. He goes out and shares his story, shares our culture. He also plays the Native American flute. So as a kid, my dad would go to different cities in different states and travel around telling people about our tribe. And as a kid, we would make a family trip out of it. So every summer and every so often, we would all jump in the car with him. We would go see him perform, talk about the tribe, and then we'd make a family vacation out of it. And that is kind of what sparked my entrepreneurship mindset. Was my dad is over here going state to state, performing, telling people about himself, and he's getting paid to do it. So that is what sparked kind of my nomadic, my entrepreneur mindset. So going through middle school, I was always that kid who was selling candy, selling sodas. At the time, Pokemon cards was my thing. Video games, Sega Genesis, all of that. I was flipping them on eBay. And I was like, well, you know what? Going through high school, I was like, what is a product that I can sell over and over again? Like, I'm tired of just one-off sales. I'm tired of, just getting this, listing it, and having one-off things. So in high school, at the time, shoes were very popular. I was low income, so I only had one good pair of shoes, but everyone wanted to keep their shoes nice and clean and pristine. And at the time, Nelly, if y'all don't know Nelly, he's a rap artist, but he had a song, Big Stomping in My Air Force Ones. Y'all know that song? So everyone was wearing Air Force Ones, and all my friends wanted to find ways how to keep their shoes clean, how to keep them without creases. So there's these things called decreasers that you put in your sole of your shoe, and at the tip, it would stop it from creasing. So your shoes would always look so clean and so pristine. So what I did was, my friend had bought one of them off eBay, and I was like, oh, these are cool. So what I did was I saw eBay, and there was 2 other sellers selling these things. So I went to the manufacturer, I called him up, and I said, hey, how can I get a lot of these for cheap so I can resell them? He's like, well, if you buy 100 of them, I'll give you a good deal. So I bought 100 of them for $5 each, spent $500 I saved up from flipping video games and things like that. And then I sold them on eBay for $19.99 each. And I sold all out within like 2 to 3 months. And that was right when I was going into college. Whenever I was in college, first generation student, I graduated high school 4.0 valedictorian. I got a scholarship to go to the University of Oklahoma. And while I was in college, I was like, okay, how can I supplement my income even more? How can I make more money? How can I help, get through college? How can I help my family? Like I'm the oldest of 9 children, so I felt like I had a lot of weight on my shoulders. And I was like, how can I make more money to support my family? And at that time, I was Googling and YouTubing how to make money online. And I come across this guy who was flipping clothes from thrift store. So I did that for a while, and I was doing that through college. And then I joined a mastermind group called The Green Room. And there was people making money all types of ways: Kindle publishing, eBay, Amazon, FBA, all these things that I really didn't even know anything about. It was like overwhelming at the time. But there were certain people in the group. I just messaged them, and I would go to entrepreneur events like this. I would go to Austin. I would go to different meetups just to network and meet people and just learn how they made money. And at the time, I found out about Amazon, the power of Amazon and FBA. And at the time, I was with my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend now, but my girlfriend at the time, and we were like looking online, and I was searching different ways, and I've heard like you can go to clearance aisles on websites and do this thing called online arbitrage and buy some things and send it to Amazon and flip it. So we were laying down and chilling on the couch, and she was like, well, my sister really likes Monster High. See if they have anything like that. So I go to ToysRUs.com. I go to the clearance aisle on Toys R Us, and I see these advent calendars. They're Monster High advent calendars. She's like, yes, this looks like it'll go. This looks popular. And I said, really? I was like, so let me check this on Amazon, on Seller Central, through the Amazon FBA, like the app. And on Toys R Us, they were $4.50 each, $4.50. And they were selling on Amazon for $39.99 each. So I bought 50 of them. I bought 50 of them, and at the time, I was living in the dorm room still at the University of Oklahoma. And I got 50 advent calendars. They were like this big. And it was like 10 huge boxes that showed up in the dorm at the bottom. And I had someone call me, they're like, Canaan, you have all these boxes here. You need to get them out. And I was like, okay. So I go, and I'm like, opening up. I'm like, wow, this really works. So I start printing all the labels, and I put it in, and I send it, and I ship it to Amazon. And then boom, that was around like August, September time. Christmas was coming up. The countdown is ready to begin. And they all sold out within 2 months, $39.99 each, and I bought them for $4.50. I was like, that was the first time I was like, wow, Amazon is amazing. There's something to this. So I did textbooks, going to other stores, doing online arbitrage, just, still doing eBay, still doing Amazon, just doing all types of things. And that's when I was in a mastermind group, still learning more, learning from other people. And that's when I heard about Merch by Amazon. And that's the main source of my income right now. Merch by Amazon is a print-on-demand platform. I'm going to get more into it a little bit later. But I heard about it from this man called Chris Green. He posted in a mastermind group and was like, everyone needs to sign up for this right now. And so I go sign up for it in September. I get approved February 2016. February 2016, I had already had some designs ready to go because I had a graphic designer. I had about 25 designs. I was waiting from November to February to get accepted. And I got accepted, and I had uploaded some designs, and I had came to Las Vegas, actually, for ASD Market Week. Who's heard of ASD Market Week in here? Anybody? Okay. So I went just like an event like this to go network and meet people. I had no business like buying wholesale or anything like that. I just wanted to meet other entrepreneurs. And at that time, I was only selling about 2 or 3 shirts a day. But I was making like $12 a day. I was like, that ain't anything to celebrate, but it's amazing that I just clicked the button and now I have money coming in. How's that possible? I need to scale this. So that was February 16 when I started ASD Market Week. I graduated from University of Oklahoma May 2016 with a master's degree in human resources. I went to Dallas and I got a job as a healthcare recruiter for a staffing agency. I would recruit pharmacists, doctors for Baylor Medical. It's a big hospital system down in Dallas. And that was my first corporate job. My life had changed so quick. I was like popular on campus, CJ, the party guy, likes to have fun. I had a girlfriend at the time. I broke up with her whenever I moved to Dallas. I had to shave my beard to go work at corporate. That broke my heart. So I was at a corporate office working, hating my life. Like, I cut my beard. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not in college no more. Like, that was like an identity crisis, right? Like, your life has changed so quickly and within a matter. I graduated on the May 15th. I moved to Dallas June 3rd and started corporate work on June 6th. So every day, at work, I would still be on, YouTube. I would listen to podcasts. I would still try to find more ways to make money online. And I ran into this guy named Riley Bennett. He had a YouTube channel, and Riley was doing all these vlogs, and it looks like he was living that life. That's what he says. And he was traveling to Africa, Europe, and he had Amsterdam vlogs. He had Chiang Mai vlogs, Thailand vlogs. And I was like, this guy's really doing it. I was like, if he can do it, I feel like I can do it. Like, I got to get more into this. So then he had an interview with Johnny FD. Shout out to Johnny. And that's how I found out about Johnny's podcast. So when I was in that corporate office, in that cubicle, hating my life with no beard, I would have Johnny's podcast playing in the background. I would have one little headphone in my ear and still typing away at work. And I would just hear all the stories, all the interviews, all the people that he spoke with, and all of how they made money online, how they travel. And I was sitting in my corporate office hating my life. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to Thailand. So what I started doing was, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Thailand. That's it. I started telling everybody, hey, I'm going to Thailand. You want to come? I'm going in January. You want to go? And this is around July 2016, August 2016. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to Thailand. And I want to talk about the law of attraction. I just kept on telling people, I'm going to Thailand. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to go see what all the hype is about. I'm going to go see if, is this real, or are they just boosting? Are they just making videos? Is this actually real? So I started thinking about in the cubicle every day. I was like, okay, I'm going to Thailand. Started telling people. And the law of attraction, most of you may have heard about the law of attraction. Many people believe in God, if you believe in God or not, if you believe in the universe, in a higher power, whatever you believe in, if you believe in yourself. The law of attraction is the belief by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, people can bring positive or negative experiences into their lives. So what I did was, hey, I'm going to Thailand. That's about it. And I need to get my passport. So while I was in that cubicle, I worked for that staffing agency, right? And it was a really cool job. The culture was cool. All young college people, fresh out of college. On Fridays, we would pop open some beers. Whenever we made a monumental success in the business, we would pop champagne bottles. It was everything like the American dream of going to college, getting a job, everything that you think you should do. And one time, we all went to a Rangers game. my boss, all the coworkers, and the regional manager of the company was in town. So we all went to the Texas Rangers game, the baseball game. We used to all had a couple beers, getting loose, having fun. And the regional director was trying to get to know people. And he's like, oh, CJ, Canaan, like, what are you into? What's your hobbies? Well, what drives you? I was like, well, I'm really into watching YouTube videos, like learning how to make money online. I'm trying to go to Thailand. And I have a side hustle that I've been working on. And he said, oh, you have a side hustle? And he just chuckled and laughed. And I said, yeah. And at that time, my boss tapped me on the shoulder and said, come with me. So we go walk to the bathroom, and we're in the bathroom talking. He's like, CJ, don't ever tell the regional director that you have a side hustle. What are you thinking? And I was like, he asked what I was into, and I told him. Was he being fake? I was trying to be real. And he's like, well, don't ever tell your boss's boss that you have a side hustle. They're going to think that you're not invested in this company, that you're not 100% in. And I looked at him, I said, I'm not 100% in. I was like, you told me that you invested in stocks, right? He's like, yeah, I invest in stocks. I said, well, I have running my own business, and that's my stock. I'm investing in myself. Why should I invest in some random stock that I don't know about whenever I can invest in myself and I know about me? I said, honestly, I have more control over my investments than you do. And he just kind of laughed. He's like, you know what? You're kind of right. So we went back, and I never really talked about my side hustle to any of them again, except for my coworkers. There's a couple buddies I had as coworkers, and they knew what I was doing. 3 months pass. The regional director comes back to the office, and we have a game night in the office. So we're all drinking beers, playing cards, playing games, and then I leave early. I'm like, okay, guys, I got to head out. And they're like, CJ, leaving early from a party? What? And I was like, yeah, I got to go. I got some stuff to do. And the regional director was like, what? You're going to go work on your side hustle? And then everybody in the whole conference room laughed at me. And they laughed at me, and I just walked out. And I was still like, man. And then one of my friends came with me, and she's like, I'm going with you too. So we left. And I was like, man, that was so downing that, my boss and my coworkers, they all laughed at my dream. And little did he know at that time, I was making the same amount of money per week on my side hustle as they were paying me in a salary. So that's kind of like my side hustle story. So what happened was a new manager came into town, laid off a lot of people. Some people got fired. Some people quit. I still stayed in there because you know what? My numbers are good, but I just wasn't engaged in the company. So they laid me off, gave me a severance package, and I was good for a couple months. So you know what? I'm going to focus on my business some more. I'm going to focus on my business. And when I got laid off, without merch by Amazon, without the digital nomads, without people with that type of mindset, I wouldn't have been able to pay my bills. I wouldn't have been able to feed my son. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. And thank God that I had that side hustle. So what I did was I just chilled and worked on merch by Amazon. And throughout the summer, I was still having income. And I was like, you know what? This next job that I have, I want a job that brings me happiness or value until I can make my dream of going to Thailand and being a digital nomad true. So I'm Native American, and there was actually a Native American center in Dallas, and all the planets aligned. It's a whole nother crazy story, but I got a job offer as the HR manager of a Native American clinic. It's a nonprofit Native American clinic in Dallas. So that's what I've been doing while I've been working on my business. So whenever I got interviewed and I got the position, I told my boss, I said, hey, in January, I need a week off because I'm going to Thailand. I already booked my flight. And she's like, okay, cool. No big deal. All right. So I booked my flight. I get to the airport. I've always heard about the 4-hour work week. All these digital nomads, entrepreneurs talk about it. And I was like, you know what? I've kind of saw the Cliff Notes. I saw a couple principles, but, I didn't read it back to back. I never even touched the book. I just saw it online. But I was in the airport, and I saw it right there, sitting right there. I was like, the 4-hour work week. And I'm on my flight to Thailand. I might as well just buy it and start reading it, do something productive. And I get the book, and I start reading it. And I start hearing about this thing called the 80-20 principle. The 80-20 principle, maybe some of you heard of it, maybe not. But what the 80-20 principle is Pareto's principle. Pareto was an Italian sociologist and economist. So what he saw was 80% of the profit he made in his business came from 20% of his clients. So what he did was he cut out those clients that were taking him longer to work with, like not making as much money, and he focused on those clients, that 20% of those clients that were making him money. He focused on clients like them and got more clients like them and brought in more money. On the sociology side, he saw that 80% of his happiness came from 20% of the people he knew, 20% of the people that he surrounded himself with. So what did he do? He cut out those other 80% of the people that were negative and focused on more people that were positive, focused on more of those 20% of people. So when I landed to Thailand, I saw this guy. He was a bald guy. He had Jordan shorts on, Jordan sneakers. I was like, oh, this guy looks pretty cool. Let me go talk to him. I was like, hey, are you going to the Nomad Summit by any chance? And he's like, yeah, I actually just quit my job and I moved out here. That's why I have 4 luggages. And I was like, oh, well, let me help you out with that. All I have is a backpack. And so we go to the phone booth. We get our SIM cards. I'm like, well, I can't check in my Airbnb, my hostel yet. He's like, oh, just come to mine. We'll hang out. So we go to his. And we're driving through Thailand. It's just like an amazing feeling, like, wow, I'm finally here. Mopeds are driving by, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So we go to his hostel, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go do a run before the mixer tonight. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I need to go back to my hostel. They have community showers. I'm going to shower up, get ready so I can check into my hotel. So I go to my hostel. I take a shower, clean up, but I didn't get to check in my room yet. I'm like, man, well, should I take a nap? What should I do? So I lay down in one of the little coffee areas, like the little couches, and I'm like, I'm in Thailand. What am I doing laying down? Like, what is jet lag anyways? So what did I do? I got the book, the 4-Hour Workweek book, and I went to the nearest tattoo shop. And what I did was I got a tattoo called 80/20. And I just wanted something to, to signify this monumental journey in my life. Like I said, I need to remember this. I need something to signify this crazy journey that I've had. And now I'm in Thailand. No one can stop me. So I got this 80/20 principle tattoo right here on my wrist. So that's Drew right there. That's me and him at one of the bars. I believe that's Maya rooftop bar. And we're taking a couple shots. He was one of my first friends that I met in Thailand, and we hit it off automatically. We're just like best friends. He still calls me random times of the night in Thailand time, and he's like, bro, guess what happened? This, and this. And I'm like, oh, man, that's amazing. He's like, don't forget the dream. Don't forget the dream. Come back. I said, man, I'm already coming back. You don't got to tell me. So just going to the conference, meeting tons of people, meeting friends, meeting people in that same mindset, that energy is amazing. And what I want to talk about is the abundance mindset. If you can see, this is myself with a group of other digital nomads, and we went to go walk with the elephants. We walked with the elephants. It was just an amazing experience to have those huge, big creatures. They actually act like dogs. They think they're little bitty creatures, and they can just bump into you, but you're breaking my foot. So it was a great experience to go and water the elephants. The elephants would take the water and spray you with their trunks, and it was disgusting but fun at the same time. It was like, wait, they just spit all over me, but everyone's like still cheering and still having fun, throwing mud all over each other, watching the elephants. And then I stopped and I was like, it is so amazing that just less than a year ago, I was in a cubicle with no beard, hating my life. And now I'm in Thailand with all these people that are making money, that have the same mindset as me, that are so energized. And look, I got my beard back at that time. And I would look at me, I'm just spraying a little elephant. And I'm like, wow, like just taking that moment and just thinking about like, I never saw myself doing this in my life when I was a kid, but now it happened. So another thing that I did was, there's a mountaintop in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is the city of temples, if you didn't know that. So there's a temple on the mountaintop. So I hopped on a tuk-tuk, me and 2 other guys from the conference, and we drove up 30 minutes on top of the mountain. And then once you get to the top of the mountain, you have to climb 50 flights of stairs. It looks like this. It's like, oh my gosh. It has the Dragon Ball Z dragon going down. It's like amazing and beautiful. So I'm going up the stairs, stop, take a breath, go, run. Finally, we make it up there. And when we make it to the top of the mountain, there's a temple in there. You got to take off your shoes and you can go get blessed by a monk. So what I did was I got blessed by a monk and he was praying for me. He prayed to Buddha. I prayed to my God and my own spiritual beliefs. And he prayed for blessings. He said he prayed for protection. He prayed for my family. And he prayed for me a safe journey and he said financial blessings, emotional blessings, all these blessings to you. And when I left that temple, before I left, he gave me this little wristband right here. And I've had this wristband on since I went to Chiang Mai, Thailand. And that was last January. Whenever I came back to the U.S., after I went to the temple, I was leaving the conference and I was heartbroken. I made so many great friends there that I still speak to this day. And they're always Facebook messaging me at my time, 4 in the morning, but their time, 4 in the afternoon. And they're like, CJ, reply back to me. And I was heartbroken, but I was set. I was like, you know what? I'm still going to come back. I'm going to come back. And they're like, okay, we believe you. And I said, yeah, I am coming back. So that was my experience of Thailand, my first digital nomad taste of traveling and working online. And how I got to be able to do that was through Merch by Amazon. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about Merch by Amazon and how I made that whole journey even happen. Merch by Amazon is a print-on-demand platform. So what that means is I upload digital designs to Amazon. Amazon prints it onto shirts, hoodies, crew necks, pop sockets. Those pop sockets are getting pretty popular. And they print it, ship it, and do all the customer service. All I do is upload it and market it. I'm going to give you 5 steps on how I became successful in Merch by Amazon. The first step that I became successful in Merch by Amazon is resources and research. So I was a part of a mastermind group. What I started doing was just YouTubing everything I could about Merch by Amazon, YouTubing everything I could about print on demand. I joined different Merch by Amazon Facebook groups. I became a part of the Merch by Amazon community, hashtag Merch by Amazon, and just searching what people were posting on Instagram. So one of the major steps to be successful on Merch by Amazon, the print-on-demand platform, is to research and use your resources. Other people that are just learning just like you, that are just starting or might be medium or might be high rollers, they're learning too, just like you. Amazon changes every day. And resources and research, that's step number 1. Consume all the knowledge you can about the topic that you're wanting to learn about. Number 2, people watch. So how I became successful in Merch by Amazon is what I do is I people watch. And what that means is when I'm out and about, like last night, I see what people are doing. I see what people are wearing. What's going on in fashion? What's going on in hip hop? What's going on in the country scene? What is going on, on TV shows? What is popular? And also Instagram. If you're familiar with Instagram, there's an explore feature where you can hit explore and other people that are similar to you will pop up, random people. And I would just go down through my explore page and just see what people were wearing, see what people were doing. And actually my number 1 selling shirt came from an idea from the explore page of Instagram. Number 3, the Over app. The Over app is an app you can download on your iPhone. It's a free app. Just type in OVER and download it. Unfortunately, right now I don't believe it's on Android, so you're gonna have to go with Apple. But the Over app is free. You can actually do text designs. You can upload images, and you can save it as a PNG and upload it to Amazon, Merch by Amazon website. And I use that app, and out of all the times that I was selling and making money, when I came back from Thailand, I got all fired up. And I was so fired up from the conference, so fired up from that energy that I started working on my business harder and harder and harder. And that month in February, when I came back from Thailand, the shortest month of the year, I made the most money I've ever made on Merch by Amazon. I made $8,400 profit. There's probably people out here that are, high rollers and making a lot more money than that. But for me, coming where I come from, low income family, oldest of 9 children, $8,400 in 1 month is a lot of money. So I use the Over app, and really 90% of those designs that I sold to make $8,400 profit that 1 month, I made on my phone. And I used it through the Over app. And 90% of those designs were basic white text on a black shirt, like this one. Don't feed the bad wolf. I'm Native American. We have a tale. There's always 2 wolves at battle within yourself. There's the good wolf and the bad wolf. And don't feed the bad wolf, feed the good wolf. Be a good person. Feed the good values you have. So that's a shirt that I threw up there on Amazon, and it sold. Well, it worked for tacos. I'm living in Dallas, Texas. Tacos is a whole thing. It's a whole culture out there. So we'll work for tacos. It's like a little funny joke shirt that I put up there. This next one, in 1492, Columbus was discovered lost at sea. That's kind of confrontational, but it's, very, that was my niche. I focused a niche on Native Americans. I figured like, hey, they'll laugh at this. They'll get it, So those are the type of shirts I sold on over. Simple white text on a black shirt. 90% of the designs I made, that $8,400, was simple white text on a black shirt. Tip number 4, power of Amazon. Let's go, Arnold. The audience. So really with Amazon, the thing that I did was I saw what people were wanting. I saw what people were wearing. And I used that audience. I used the power of Amazon. And I saw what people were wearing. There's different Chrome extensions you can use. There's different resources out there that I'll talk more about in my workshop. But I searched what people were looking for, and I added my own flavor to it. I added my own style to it, and I put it up. And the great thing about the power of Amazon, there's hundreds of thousands of people already searching for things to buy. Tip number 5, don't give up, no excuses. So I told my roommate about Merch by Amazon. He got on, and he's actually at about $300 per month right now. That's not breaking the bank. That's not a whole lot of money, but guess what? He got to pay his car note. And that freed up a lot of income for him to help his girlfriend, to help his stepkids, to help his mom, to help his family. $300 a month to someone that's working a $12, $13 an hour job is a lot of money. So with that being said, my first time I went to Thailand, I was there for 1 week. And when I left, it was heartbreaking. I felt like it was only a day. And I was like, man, next time I'm going to go for longer. And people are like, why are you leaving, CJ? Why are you leaving? I was like, man, I got to go back to work. But at the end of the day, the job I'm working now, compared to corporate, my boss believes in my dream. I told my boss exactly just like I told my other boss at corporate what I'm doing, what my dreams are, and she supports my dream. So this year, January 2019, I'm going for a month to Thailand. And my thing is, I'm trying to meet everyone here. So after the conference, after the show, come say what's up to me, shake my hand. I want to meet y'all, and I want to get y'all inspired to go to Thailand with me. Even if you can go for a week like I did, go get that taste of Thailand and go get fired up about your business. I'm going to be there for a month, so if y'all want to stay in the same hostel, if y'all want to have a whole team of people, a whole gang of people, and just go mob in the streets of Chiang Mai and go walk the elephants and go on top of the temple and get blessed, let's do it. I just want to say thank you so much to Johnny. It's crazy how all that came to fruition. It's amazing what you can do with your own mind. And even though my own friends didn't believe in me, even though my coworkers didn't believe in me, even though my bosses that I looked up to as figures of, what I thought the American dream was didn't believe in me, I still believed in myself. And I kept going no matter what people said. So with that being said, Chiang Mai, Thailand, January 2019, let's go.